This is the day of your awakening. This is the day of your awakening. This is the day you put aside all justification for human weaknesses.
Welcome to WTF, Where's the Faith? An informative program covering politics, religion, and education with your host, Zachary Zach Richardson. Today, listeners, we are privileged to have Mr. Richardson in the Heaven 1410 studios to do a second segment of WTF. The first segment received an enormous amount of emails and great responses, and we're going to answer some of those questions today. Mr. Richardson, how are you?
I'm doing good, Doc. How about yourself, buddy?
Hey, doing good. So glad that people are interested and loving the WTF, Where's the Faith segment. So we'll jump right into it, all right? We'll be answering a few questions regarding the mindset of our educational system, because it's kind of ironic that most of the emails were pertaining to education and not politics.
Yes, sir. We did a story on the politics, but then we had received over 17 emails directly asking questions about what should I do with my child, and then the parents or the callers, listeners, sent me an overwhelming amount of emails.
Okay, before we jump into it, is that a good thing that people are more interested in education than all of the political agendas of different people?
Yeah, I was very excited because as you guys know, WTF is Where's the Faith is a show about politics, relationships, and education. We will attempt to give the listeners some solution to their problems. Mm-hmm. And as you know, our motto is a faith that has never been tested cannot be trusted.
All right.
And the parents they pretty much surprised me. They had a couple questions about politics, but for the most part, it was about education.
I know that's right. Let's jump right into it, all right? One of the questions, how do we motivate our kids to do well in school?
Well, one of the biggest things is to support our kids. We have to constantly ask them, what is happening right now in school? Do you have any homework, or is it something that you should let mom know that I can help you out with? And so the motivation is to teach them or tell them, the more you learn, the more you earn. Put in the mindset of money, common day practices to get that kid motivated every morning to wake up and go to work. Tell them the only job they have right now is to get out of bed and go to school. And so by motivating that child will take a sense of ownership of their education.
All right, good answer, okay. This question is from a parent named Keisha. She has a son in the 12th grade who attends Rickards, it's a local high school, and he has not passed the FCAT reading. What should she do?
Well, this is a question I receive all the time, and I would tell the parent to first and foremost to check with the guidance counselor. Find out where the child is at right now academically. Secondly, I would tell the parent also to sign up for the ACT test. One of the biggest things right now is there's a loophole. If you cannot pass the FCAT, which is the Florida Comprehensive Achievement Test, you can take the ACT as a replacement. And the next ACT test date is October 27th, but it's too late, because you had to sign up before September 25th. So I would tell that parent to sign up for the December 8th test date, and you must register before November 2nd. And so that would be my best advice. Have your child to sit for the ACT reading part, and then have that kid study hard. If you need some assistance, please give me a call. That is 850-559-1094. That is my cell phone, and I will respond to you and give you the most help as possible.
Okay, now listen, you tutor kids all in this region, not just Leon County, but a lot of parents, they want their kids to do better or to pass the FCAT or get a higher grade, higher score on ACT so they can enter college, get different scholarships or what have you. So you've been doing this for years. In your experience, what are some of the areas of the FCAT that you see students are failing the most?
The kids are having a difficult time with reading comprehension. And I tell all my students on the ACT, it is ironic that the ACT testing, the reading part, look just like the Bible. The way it's set up with the two columns, I lie to you not. Ask any kid parents who've taken the ACT, and they would tell you the same way the Bible is formatted with the two columns and the numbers on the side is identical to the ACT. So I tell them to have the faith, spend time in the evening reading your Bible, get about 35 minutes solid time in, because they have 40 questions, and then time yourself, and then ask them questions about God's word. And so you have to have faith. But I say I'm so happy to see that someone had enough sense to set it up that way. If we can say.
So having faith is key. And then what are some other steps parents could help their kids to prepare for the FCAT?
And I tell parents all the time, it's all about practicing reading constantly. When the kid is in the car, cut the radio off and have the kid to read out loud to you. When the kid is at home, have them reading constantly. I tell parents also, when you're watching television, cut off the volume and put the TV on mute. and then set it on closed caption.
Oh.
And so force the child to read constantly. If you're in the kitchen, have the kids to read the box, the instructions. But the more they read, the better reader they become.
Okay, great answer. All right, next question. I'm going to kind of rephrase this due to, maybe a little sensitive with some recent happenings, but I got to ask the question because the listeners want to know, and it came in, so we want to definitely honor that. This question is from an actual third grade teacher that says her son has been provoked or been getting provoked from a teacher in the school district constantly by teasing in front of other students. What should she do?
Well, first and foremost, whenever your child comes to you, you need to find out the facts first. Make sure that the information they're giving to you is accurate. I would also request that you set up a teacher-student conference. If your child feels that they're being tormented or being tortured by a teacher, then it's your responsibility to get to the bottom of it. Now, in wake of some things that's happened recently over, I believe, in Gadsden County, there was an incident that was on the news that dealt with a female teacher and a female student get into an physical altercation. And I'm so sad to hear that. But parents, make sure you tell your kids never to put their hands on anyone, especially an adult. The best policy is to walk away and let an adult know what's happening, but never get into a physical altercation with a teacher.
Yeah, I actually saw that story as well, Mr. Richardson, and yeah, it is very, very unfortunate, but I'm going to kind of put you on the spot. This is not a question from any of the listeners, but I'm asking because I want to know, where does the line draw with as far as, I'm speaking from a teacher's perspective, for them to protect themselves, for them to, does the same laws in the street that are legal, do they apply in the classroom where they can defend themselves and be physical if they have to?
Well,
without getting a consequence, without getting fired, if they're beat, hit, you know.
You have to, in all honesty, you got to have the faith. You got to protect yourself. I would not never advocate for an adult to hit a child. I never do that.
Right.
But if I'm getting wailed on in front of my other fellow student, I'm gonna protect myself. I would also tell another student to go out and get some help, some assistance, and I would take an opportunity to physically restrain the child more so than punching the child.
Right.
But as we know, kids are pretty big nowadays, Doc.
Yeah, that's
big boys and girls.
That's what this is what I'm saying.
So I would say sometimes you have to retreat because you never know. When I say retreat, you have to walk away because if you think about the Columbine incident, you never know if a child has a weapon. And so, the coward is the one that can tell the story the next day. Sometimes playing brave can cost you your life. And so if you have to retreat or run away from the situation, it's best to do that. And I'm telling you just from someone who works with kids all the time, I've had kids to swing at me, I have kids to try to hit me, and I've had to restrain them. But the opportunity for me, I had no other option but to restrain a child.
Right.
But for the most part, if there's other adults around or other students who are in the right mind, you send a student out and go out and receive some help.
That's a good answer. You know what? We got to get you in on our church chat because I can see that happening and that being effective when a child is smaller than you.
Yes.
But just like what you said, it's some big kids now. We're talking if you're in high school, 11th grade, they may look like they're the teacher,
Exactly.
So this could be a good chat, and I really can get some answers.
You can ask me that same question off the air, Doc. I'll give you the political correct answer on the air. Off the air, we can talk about something different.
Okay. All right, we'll go to another question, all right? This is the last one. Question from a mother who has a 17-year-old son who is in the 10th grade, does not want to go to school, and recently asked could he drop out and take the GED. What should she do?
Well, this is what's a very, very difficult question to answer. First of all, I would talk to my son in regards to what do you plan on doing with his life? If he quit school right now, who is going to support him? First and foremost, I'm not going to support a grown person staying in my house. And if you get out of school and you're going for a GED, what do you plan on doing with your GED? And so I would have my child to sit down and write me a letter. Dear Dad, I want to drop out of high school and get my GED. I plan on doing X, Y, and Z, and I will make them give me a time frame and let them know you stick to these rules. If you are not going to follow through with your GED and go off and get a trade, you must get out of my house. Then I would turn around and give the young man the website. The kid can learn more about the GED. They go to the GED.fldoe.org. Again, that is GED.FLDOE.org to learn more about receiving your GED.
Okay, it's been a great segment. We actually kind of went a little long, but it was good. The listeners are excited about WTF, Where's the Faith? Mr. Richardson, how can someone get in contact with you to lecture or to tutor any child? Because you have a record of definitely helping kids improve in their scores on ACTs and FCATs.
Yes, I could be reached at area code 850-559-1094 or Zach Richardson 23@gmail.com, Zach with a K.
Thank you so much. This has been Zachary Richardson with WTF, Where's the Faith? Right here on Heaven 1410. Thank you for listening to WTF, Where's the Faith? With Zachary Richardson. He can be reached at Zach, that's ZACK Richardson 23@gmail.com. Please visit his website at www.justvoteyou.com. And remember, faith that has never been tested cannot be trusted.